Donald Trump has actually doubled down on a ridiculous and already debunked conspiracy theory involving a former intern of Joe Scarborough's, who unfortunately died due to an undiagnosed heart condition on the job. This was while he was a congressman in the state of Florida. And so, I'm not going to read his disgusting, ridiculous tweets. This is exactly what Donald Trump wants. He wants chaos. He has no regard for other people's lives whatsoever. But, he, again, has doubled down on it. And the widower, the man who was married to Lori Klausutis, who was the intern, has begged Twitter to please just don't ban Trump from Twitter. I just want you to take these tweets down. And so he wrote this letter to Jack Dorsey, who's the CEO of Twitter. And I'm going to read you just a few excerpts from it to show you, why he feels the way he does. He says, "I've mourned my wife every day since her passing. I've tried to honor her memory and our marriage. As her husband, I feel that one of my marital obligations is to protect her memory as I would have protected her in life. There has been a constant barrage of falsehoods, half-truths, innuendo, and conspiracy theories since the day she died. I realize that may sound like an exaggeration. Unfortunately, it is the verifiable truth. Because of this, I have struggled to move forward with my life. The frequency, intensity, ugliness, and promulgation of these horrifying lies ever increases on the internet. These conspiracy theorists, including most recently the President of the United States, continue to spread their bile and misinformation on your platform, disparaging the memory of my wife and our marriage. My request is simple. Please delete these tweets." But Twitter has refused to do so. Twitter is basically saying, you know what, Donald Trump's conspiracy theories, which accuse Joe Scarborough of murder, falsely, obviously, don't violate our terms of service. And so they responded to Timothy by saying, "We are deeply sorry about the pain these statements and the attention they are drawing are causing the family. We've been working to expand existing product features and policies so we can more effectively address things like this going forward. And we hope to have these changes in place shortly." Yeah, that's not good enough. So this is who Donald Trump is. And of course, he has a press secretary who will defend him. And when reporters asked about these conspiracy theories, here's what Kayleigh McEnany had to say.
The President of the United States, and he's accusing somebody of possibly murder. I mean, this is different. He's not a private citizen. He's the president.
Yeah, and Joe Scarborough, if we want to start talking about false accusations, we have quite a few we can go through about Mika asserting.
I'm asking about the president's allegation.
And I'm replying to you and saying this morning, as recently, I believe it was this morning or yesterday, Mika accused the president of being responsible for 100,000 deaths in this country. That's incredibly irresponsible. They've dragged his family through the mud. They've made false accusations that I won't go through, that I would not say from this podium, against the president of the United States, and they should be held to account for their falsehoods. Joe Scarborough should be held to account for saying people will die by taking hydroxychloroquine.
That's because people will die if they take hydroxychloroquine, which isn't proven as a treatment for coronavirus. I don't know, Cenk. I give up. I give up. Like, there's really absolutely no hope at this point. This administration is more than divisive, more than destructive. It's almost as if they take pleasure in watching people's lives get destroyed, in watching people lose their family members as a result of the pandemic. Like, they just do not care. They don't care. And there's a portion of this country, somewhere between 30 and 40%, that go along with this ideology. They like it. It's appealing to them. They love it. They don't care about this man who lost his wife and now is having to go through the pain, relive the pain, because the president of the United States has decided to use a ridiculous conspiracy theory to go after one of his opponents on MSNBC.
Yeah. So the conspiracy.
I despise that man. I despise that man. He brings out the absolute worst in America, and we're confronted with it every single day. Every day. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so he also, of course, is saying the other part of the conspiracy, which is that Scarborough was sleeping with him. And so imagine that you're the husband and your wife passed away at an early age. They come to you with the tragic news. By the way, the medical examiner said she had a previous heart condition. That's what caused her to collapse and then hit her head. And that's why she passed away. And you think, unbelievably tragic. And then conspiracy theories begin. No, she didn't have a heart condition. The doctors are all lying. Instead, they were having an affair and Scarborough killed her. Okay. And that's a conspiracy theory that is definitely going to catch on fire because it's a person in power. Someone dies in his office. They're a young woman. There's no way there isn't going to be a conspiracy theory on it. And in the beginning, it didn't take off that much because Scarborough was a Republican. So, well, the conspiracy theorists are largely Republicans and right-wingers. Not exclusively, but largely. So for as long as Scarborough was a Republican, it was a simmering conspiracy theory. Then he switches to being against Trump. Boom, he takes off like a rocket. That's it. Now he's on the other side. Of course, he's a murderer, et cetera, et cetera. And the conspiracy theorist in chief is Donald Trump. He loves conspiracy theories. He's the one that launched the one against Obama, the birther conspiracy theory. So he's got an Alex Jones show and called it a fantastic show. So, yeah, Anna, as you alluded to, he's just a glorified Alex Jones. And that's who the president is, deeply irresponsible. Now, to Twitter, look, I don't know what their standards should be. I do know that if I or you watching out there had said that Donald Trump murdered someone in his office, I guarantee you Twitter takes that down. You might even get a call from the Secret Service, right? It's not going to stand. No way it stands. But if the president does it to someone else, so who cares? No big deal, right? I mean, he's the president. He's allowed to lie. He's allowed to say outrageous things. He's allowed to defame people, libel. It doesn't matter. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. He's Donald Trump. And that's what encourages him. It's almost like he could kill someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it.
Donald Trump is obviously treated differently from everyone else because he's the president, and I get that. Now, with Alex Jones, he was incessantly harassing the parents who lost their children due to Sandy Hook. He argued that it was a false flag operation that the parents were in on, okay? Which led to targeted harassment, abuse, death threats toward parents who lost their children, okay, in that shooting. And it was so bad that Twitter's like, we're going to let him go. We're going to ban him from our platform. Alex Jones was eventually banned from pretty much every platform. With the request coming from Timothy, right, in the letter that I read you, he's not saying we need to ban Donald Trump. He's saying, can you just please take these tweets down? Because it's making the situation worse, and it's very it's already debunked. Like, this is a ridiculous conspiracy theory. He also writes, I'm a research engineer and not a lawyer, but I've reviewed all of Twitter's rules and terms of service. The president's tweets that suggest that Lori was murdered without evidence and contrary to the official autopsy is a violation of Twitter's community rules and terms of service. But here's the thing. Jack Dorsey is a little, okay? Because he's afraid, let's keep it real, that Donald Trump is going to start bitching and moaning and crying about how he's being censored. And then 40% of this country, right, the Trump supporters, are going to lose it, and they're going to, start attacking people at Twitter. That's what they're afraid of. That's why they don't dare cross Donald Trump, even though he's causing pain and misery to this poor man who lost his wife. That's what Twitter's about. Jack Dorsey is shivering, and you can tell he's scared. Well, why don't you gain a little bit of courage and do the right thing here? But he won't. He won't.
Well,
and by the go ahead.
I don't know if it's scared or if he agrees. So, everybody keeps assuming that Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg are Democrats or progressives. No, there's good evidence that Jack Dorsey's a right-winger. So, and look, there's maybe evidence in the other direction, and I don't know his politics. I don't know him personally at all. But I don't know why anybody would assume they're on the left. They're not at all. The Facebook's board is, almost everybody on Facebook's board is a Republican. So these social media outlets, they're helping Trump, and everybody keeps assuming, they're doing it because they're scared. they might be helping Trump because they like Trump and they want him to win.
Probably.
And they
I
don't
wouldn't be
care,
surprised.
and they don't care about bending the rules to help the guy that they like win the election. That's entirely possible.
Yeah, exactly. And just a reminder that Donald Trump has great admiration for a disgraced conspiracy theorist like Alex Jones.
I just want to finish by saying your reputation's amazing. I will not let you down. You will be very, very impressed, I hope. And I think we'll be speaking a lot, but you'll be looking at me in a year or 2 years. Let's give me a little bit of a time to run things. But a year into office, you'll be saying, wow, I remember that interview. He said he was going to do it, and he did a great job.
Well,
yeah, that was in 2015.
To be fair to Donald Trump, that's one promise he delivered on. Alex Jones must be very impressed.
Real quick update. Turns out Twitter labeled Trump's tweets for the first time, adding links that urged users to get the facts on things like his 2 posts regarding voting by mail. So as you know, Donald Trump is now playing defense because he's not doing well in polling. And he is, he's doing the same thing he did in 2016. He's alleging voter fraud and all this stuff so he can kind of plant the seed of like rigged elections and things like that in case he loses. And Twitter, are they not merciful? They labeled his tweets and urged people to get more information, actual facts.
But the last time he thought he was going to lose an election was talking about rigged elections. He wasn't already in the White House. Now he's in the White House. Yep. And obviously some folks are worried about what if he doesn't leave. But that goes to Twitter and all other social media. What if Trump loses the election and says, no, I didn't, and puts out a tweet saying, I won the election and I'm staying? What do? Do they label it? Do they take it down? Do they not label it? Or do they just go, oh, I guess we lost our democracy. It's over. So, yeah, no, it's the beloved, cherished Donald Trump. We cannot ever question him. Man, I don't know what's going to happen in that scenario, but it ain't going to be pretty.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.